What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning the Wilder channels, the Alpha Belt channels, the LDB to the C. And a lot of people kept me from speaking about certain Wilder channels, and I've been to the point where it's got legal because they obviously didn't want me to speak about their particular videos, but nonetheless, you have to, because if you keep telling lies or you keep telling clever lies, people are going to believe it, that either want to believe certain things, because people want to believe that Tyson Fury cheated Wilder. They want to believe everything that they heard and everything that's being ditched out. Despite how many excuses we have, people want to believe it and you show it. There's truth in, no, not truth in numbers, but it's the numbers don't lie. Okay, the numbers don't. That means people want to hear certain things, but certain things have to be counterpunched and debunked. And here's another thing. Okay, Aki TV. Shout out to Aki TV. Another LDBC channel, a flourishing, successful channel on YouTube. And he's come with an accusation that Deontay Wilder, doctor, reveals that the mandible is the dented skull caused by Tyson Fury cheating. Okay. And in this video, he stated that the mandible, Deontay Wilder's mandible, was dented. Now, it is true. Now, there's some truth to, you mix a little truth in there. The mandible is the hardest bone in your head. Not necessarily your skull, but in your head. Okay, they say dented skull. You're thinking skull, you think skull. But it's actually, the mandible is your jaw. Okay, this is the mandible right here. This area, okay? This area right here is your mandible, okay? You guys see the examples in the front of this video that I'll show you guys. And what he's saying is, what Aki is saying is that you would have to have a human knuckle could not dent your mandible because it's the hardest punch and it's the hardest bone in your skull. Your knuckles would break before you do that. Okay, first of all, let me counterpunch. That's what you got fucking gloves for. The gloves are to protect the hands from shit like that. Over 100 years ago, they didn't have that. Or you had little wraps, like bare knuckle fighting. And a lot of people would break their hands and stuff like that trying to punch jaws and things of that nature, but not if you had cushion around it. And what he's saying is Deontay Wilder's mandible was dented by Tyson Fury, meaning he had to have some shit in those gloves in order to dent the mandible. Okay. Now, the only problem with what Aki said was, okay, and he put a, nice little diagram of, parts of the skull. But if you really do your own research, it wasn't the fucking mandible that had the indention or the swell, little swerve in it that he had. It was called, let me look this up for you guys, because I want to make this, I want to say this right. I don't want to be like some people and mispronounce words. It was his temporal. This is where he had that indention right here. I'm sorry, over here. He had that right here. Your mandible is here. Your temporal is here. That's that punch. This is where this is a pressure point. Okay? This is where your temple is. So if you get hit right here, it can cause you can get knocked out. You can get brain damage. You can make you disembobulated. And that's where he had the indention right here. Okay. Okay. So that's where he had it. You guys want me to show you? Look where Deontay Wilder skull. You see that? That is by his ear. Okay. Now, depending on your ears, his ears are a little higher than mine. I got low ears, but this is where he was at. This is where he took that at, right? Right here. That is your temporal. Your temporal is not that fucking hard. It's hard enough, but it's not as hard as the fucking mandible. And I know what he's trying to say. Hey, he dented the mandible, but wrong fucking part of the skull, buddy. You have to think and understand what parts of the skull there are and what they mean. Okay, and you're talking about his jaw if you was talking about his mandible necessarily. But it's where the mandible ends and the temporal begins. But this is the temporal. This is where he had it, right in that temple area. Okay, that's what you see the swelling at. So you can't tell me, oh, there was a dent in the mandible. It wasn't the fucking mandible. Counterpunch. See, these guys, they create these videos and they do very well. Shouts out to them. They do it for views. If the shit didn't make views, they would stop making it. You know what I mean? Everybody got to have a niche. Cool, I get you. But don't fucking lie to people. Stop lying to people. And they're clever. I give them that. You know what I mean? I'm not hating on the dude. But somebody has to call out the bullshit. You know what I mean? Because I look at things and I give people the benefit of the doubt because I was like, okay, this is interesting. Because I'm listening to the shit. And all these decafs, they watch it. I watch it to see if you're telling the truth or not. Not to see if you're lying. To see if you're telling the truth. Because anything beside the truth is a fucking lie. Okay? And then what ain't the truth is the motherfucker's mandible. So you fucked up already. Okay? Because the temporal is where, because it's a big, the temporal is all of this right here. And where he had that indentation was here. It was here. You see that little swerve, he had a little L indentation. Okay? It was a swollen part right there. Okay? The mandible is down here. Okay? And of course you saw this photo, this image rather, in the beginning. Shit, I'll put it at the end for you. Why not? So you guys can know what you're looking at. Okay? This channel is not to talk and slander a bunch of bullshit. It's to tell you the truth and facts. And counterpunch everybody else that does otherwise. But anyway, that's my counterpunch concerning Aki TV. You guys tell me what you think about this particular video. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been counterpunching. Peace.